All right, hello, Professor Epstein. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I can go ahead and explain my Gartner presentation. All right, so initially, right off the bat, one thing I'm super proud of is the hyperlinks. It was fun to play around with and learn. Just kind of shoots you to my LinkedIn. And then this takes you, if you click on it right here, it has you sending me an email right off the bat so you can get in close contact with me. I also have my phone number there. Moving on, I'm going to go to kind of like the main focal point of everything. We got the pricing testimony as data on the bottom, then the three main points, research, cost optimization, and executive partner. I have these all hyperlinked to be jumping back and forth with one another and kind of based on where my needs identification comes, and I'm planning on doing that on this slide. Whatever I kind of uncover here is where I'm going to direct them on this side. So if that is the research, I will be covering that. And then I also have hyperlink to each one where I can go through and indulge if that's something that they want to talk about. I think a big thing for me was kind of keeping these. I liked the simplicity of this. It makes it super easy and easy to navigate. Moreover, moving the cost optimization tools, you have the IT budget tool link. And then I also have the contract review service, which jumps me to the data, because I think that a big point about the contract review service is moving you to that data. So I think from ultimately that's a pretty good tool. If we're going to go ahead and click over to our data, then we're going to go ahead and move over to our testimonials, kind of condense that down there. And then, yeah, so there we go, jump back here. So I'm going to go over to my executive partner. This is something I would say I probably feel the most comfortable talking about, just in the sense of I feel like I don't know what the needs of my customer are going to be, but at the end of the day, a CIO has a difficult position, and understanding that they need someone who has that support and someone who has that years of experience. Like exactly like you can see here, I feel like a big trigger especially is like the 29 years in the IT industry, 23 years in the IT industry. And maybe if I'm working with, let's say, I'm working with Connor from Oracle, but his thing is, oh, I'm a new CIO and I don't not necessarily know what I'm doing, but just need some more guidance in that aspect. So I think that'll be definitely a big selling point for me. Added some wording on the bottom. Our executive partners give technology experts in the team the knowledge, insight, and partnership necessary to succeed in their most critical priorities. And most critical priorities, obviously, being a broad statement there, just in the sense of I don't know what their most critical priority is, and establishing that right off the get-go will be a fun little thing. And then moving on to the data, and then I move on to the pricing. I think a big thing here is I wanted to split these up because I think it's important to understand and talk about the fact that this is the type, you're the leader as a CIO, but then you also have the licenses that go underneath it, and those are priced completely different. And maybe identifying, like when I'm trying to close a deal, it's like, hey, what would that look like for you in terms of users? You know what I mean? Because that's a big thing. Instead of just selling it to the CIO, yes, users can be added on additionally later, but if I can kind of pinpoint what that'll look like as a cost, and then I can move back to the data and say, hey, look, through our contract review services, if we're going to go in and review a $5 million contract review and we're going to end up saving you 75 $750,000, and that's going to end up paying for itself at the end of the day. So just kind of jumping on that, knowing how many users and being able to price accordingly, and just kind of having them see this pretty simplistic side of like, hey, like this is what it's going to look like as a whole. And then moving on to the price, like the direct pricing for the CIOs, just kind of running them through there. And then obviously down at the bottom saying that this is only for training purposes and not actually a reflection of Gartner's offers or pricing. And I think just making sure that it is a 3-year contract is something that's going to be a big thing that I'm going to have to talk about. But yeah, so that's kind of my slides, kind of the similar slides, pretty simple, nice to look at, not too distracting away from the goal, which is ultimately getting them selling or getting them sold on our services here at Gartner. So that's a little bit what I'm planning on doing. Definitely going for the more relationship-based approach sell, kind of talking to them about what some of the problems that they face on a day-to-day basis with their current IT service. What does it look like? Who's going in and doing their IT, and who's also, where are you guys getting that research and that cost optimization? And do you have an executive partner or a trusted companion? So, but yeah, alrighty, that's all for me. So thank you so much.